on your mind? And with us today is a familiar face. He's been with us before and has been a guest in many of our other programs on TV too. He is none other than motivator, speaker and author of Dare to Fail, Billi Lim. I'm happy to have him here with me to talk about failure as a stepping stone to success, and what better way to start off the third day of the new year than to actually reflect and regroup ourselves before we start on. I mean, let's pick ourselves up for those of us who have not done so well, brush ourselves up and move on to some better things in life. After all, Billi always says, take failure as a motivation to go on and be a better person. So let's welcome him to the studio. Hello, Billi, and welcome to the studio this morning. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you.
How has it been? 3 days into the new year.
Yeah, in fact, I'm really very grateful that RTM would put me on.
Now, our topic this morning, using failure as a success, quite an interesting topic, and many of us are now wondering how do we actually use failure as a stepping stone towards success.
Many people felt that last year was bad, and things were bad, and everything was bad. But if we want to really use failure as a stepping stone to success, I think the first thing we have to do, we have to understand exactly what failure is.
Okay.
Now, if we don't understand, we just don't know how to handle it. So, you see, if we have to observe very carefully, let's say, if a person wanted to go towards a particular goal, sometimes he walks, and along the way, he may fall, he may slip, and he walks again. You know? It doesn't mean that all the way he will not fall at all. So, does it mean the falling is actually failing? This is something that I hope everybody have to think about it.
Okay.
So that falling, to me, is actually part and parcel of the whole process towards reaching our goal.
All right.
So we have to take failing as a process of learning, or a process of growth. So once we can understand that, the whole picture becomes different. You know, we don't take it so badly already.
Yes.
Because throughout centuries, people have learned from mistakes in order to be what they are today. Now, even the very latest things which is now in the scientific world that has just happened is about cancer. You know, cancer. You see, doctors and medical teams have been trying to find a cure for cancer, and they find that they are actually fighting a losing battle. You know? So to many of us, we thought that it's a failure.
Yes.
So right now, the whole thing has turned now. People now are taking cancer, studying cancer as a research for longevity. Why longevity? Because the cancer cells don't die. So they are turning using failure to make it into something else now. Perhaps as a solution towards long life.
Is it as simplistic as that, though?
Once you can turn the angle, the whole thing, you can see a totally new path. Rather than to keep on going into the same dark path where you can always, there's like no way for you to go. And then another thing about failure you have to understand is, sometimes failure actually is very good for a person. It can actually put a person to a field which actually it is better for him than before. Like, say, for example, I give one very good example is Honda. You know, Soshiro Honda is a very fantastic example. He was supposed to produce piston ring for, I think, Toyota. But then what happened? Later on, it ended up, because of all the failures, many failures along the way, all these failing experience pushed him to finally make the Honda Cup, and now the Honda Cup. So people, if today, let's say, they got retrenched, and if they consider this as a failure, I think they shouldn't do that. When they get retrenched, they will think that perhaps this is the time for me to move to a bigger area, a better area, a brighter area. Because it always happens like that, no?
Yes.
You know, sometimes when we look back, many things that we think that are not good for us turn out to be the best.
Yes.